I'm glad other people have problems with it.
It's too far away from them on our. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Everybody have a chance to look at the minutes from last week?
I didn't see anything wrong.
Look fine to me.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as stated?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Passed 3-0. Okay. Any comments or committee reports from the commissioners?
I have none.
I attended the Center Township meeting last night. They told me of a couple problems, and I instructed them to be the best to get a hold of Seth, and they was going to do so. Appreciated me coming in.
Okay, and I didn't have anything to report. Okay. Next one is 105, Dolores. She's not here yet. So,
Here she is.
oh. Come on up, Dolores. We're ready for you.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna shut that thing off. I had a phone call. Okay,
Silence mine,
is
too.
Roger here today?
Yeah, he's downstairs.
Well, because that's what that's about, is the minimum maintenance roads. And I turned a map into him.
Okay.
I think he was going to come up. Can we do a call? Yeah. I think his plan was to be here.
Yeah.
Was to come up.
I talked to him just a little bit ago, but I didn't, not about this. But
Well, sometimes our mind doesn't get up there where it's supposed to at the right time.
that's fine.
I have an answer back on that thing too. So
Okay.
From
Okay.
right there. So I will call you and then I can meet and tell them how to come back.
Well, I went in and found a whole bunch more places. I'm learning how to do the budget.
So that they can actually turn their budget in versus just their annual reporting. They can actually do their own budget.
You know,
I asked Center about their budget, and they said that they had talked to you and something about you're going to get their numbers and you're going to back it in or something. Or
I'm going to call them and then.
Okay. He said he's on his way.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Have a big rain down there this last week?
which one? I think we've had 1 3/4, and we had somewhere between 7 and 8, because everybody's gauges that was 5 went way over.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had our share. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of destruction when you get those big rains. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Roger's here now. So.
Okay.
I just thought we could get together sometime this afternoon while you were in and make sure some of these roads I'm real clear on where you
Okay.
started and stopped them. I want to make sure that I'm
Okay.
starting and stopping in the right locations and have minimum maintenance properly identified.
Okay. So does that mean I go talk to him first, or what?
Well. No, you can.
I went down, I got my map,
Mm-hmm.
and on my map I put what roads here that I'm intending to put minimum maintenance signs on.
So basically, you have a count for us. Correct.
Yeah, and I took it back to Roger a couple weeks ago. He happened to be gone, but I'm like he said, he's looked at it.
Okay.
There's a few of them he's just got to get a little clearer on to make sure they do go as far as he thinks, or they don't.
Right, but the count should be correct. I mean, whether,
Yeah, I think so.
and I think that's what we need to basically approve or correct? I mean, just the number of signs that were,
I didn't know if you had to go road by road by road, because you
Yeah.
said something about a resolution.
Yes, you have to have a public hearing and do a resolution, so this is really very preliminary.
Okay.
About getting to Roger the list, so, and he will create the legal descriptions for them, and we'll have to do a publication. And this is the third township or the second?
This is the second.
The second.
We've got Capioma, now we've got Mount Pleasant, and we're just gonna keep pushing, and if we can get all the rest going in, it will help. And it won't be hard for me to give you a number on those signs either, because
Okay,
it's
yeah.
gonna be real easy to
Right.
put where they are. It's just some of these, where they stop and where they start. I'm looking at aerial images and I'm not sure.
Well, some of them, I know there's one place where it goes for, I'm gonna say 3.5 miles, but you have a crossroad every mile.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna want a sign on each end, is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anywhere they could get on it is where
Yeah,
you're gonna wanna
yeah,
do that.
exactly.
So-
So, some of them are a mile, some of them are 3 miles, and who knows, so. I guess I'll go meet with him then, and, then what, do you get back with them?
I can give them a number. I
Okay.
can give Seth the number real
Okay.
easily.
Yeah, he's already got the signs for me.
okay.
I attended Center last night to their meeting and asked if they wanted any signs. And the way they're headed is they want gravel ends. They think they'd take less heat over that versus minimum maintenance road. Now, I don't know what their theory is, but I think that's the direction they was gonna go.
You mean gravel on the whole road?
No,
No.
there's a sign that says gravel ends versus minimum maintenance road.
Here.
That's what I.
I'm just telling what they
Yeah.
told me.
No, that's fine.
They could do that, but that's just purchasing signs. It's not gonna give them any protection under the Tort Claims Act.
Now, I just I heard another township is going in and completely opening some of those roads back up and hauling dirt up there and putting rock on it and everything to get rid of the liability. But I don't know that for sure because I haven't went and looked, but that's what I was told. So,
Where are they getting their finances? We need them.
I know I had one road that I had to rock half of it last year due to a new home. Now that one, I don't think it's even a mile long. I went ahead and rocked the other half because there's 3 more lots for sale there. So I figure it's gonna have to be completely done eventually anyhow. So I did that one.
I know a township out in my neck of the woods that when somebody built half a mile down a dirt road, wouldn't take the road over to gravel it until the homeowner gravelled it the first time through.
Well, this one had actually been a major road at one time.
Okay, maybe it was a different
And
story. But
it down there by Kenny Hanna's. And the new highway kind of changed the path, but it was still a really solid road, and it was something we'd always graded. We just went in and we rocked half of it for the new house, and
Well, if
like I
there's-
said, there's 3 more lots for sale, so we just went ahead and rocked the other half.
well, there's potential with other houses there. I mean,
Yes,
you'll
yes.
be a good tax base anyway. So
Yes,
yeah.
so I got rid of that one that way, and I haven't heard anything, so
Well-
they must all be happy.
For the time being.
I had a couple calls. One of them was about the rock hauling and these two people know one another. These two people are good friends. These two people contrived, because the conversation was just about word for word. And it all come about with the purchase of the ground from a fellow trustee on the board. They
Yeah.
didn't think that was legit.
Well, we looked. Nobody wants to sell an acre. This is something that goes clear back to Harold Oliver. He said the township had always needed a building to keep their equipment in. Our equipment is housed on the edge of Atchison, not even in our township. We pay rent. So we just decided to keep going with what the people ahead of us had planned. And I priced and we got the best place and the best deal. And he abstained from everything. He was not involved in a vote or anything.
Commissioner Barrett asked that question this morning earlier. I said, I don't know. They didn't say,
Yeah.
the two people that I
Well,
talked to.
we
talked
all
to me.
know who it is.
We all know them.
Yeah, so, like I said, it's hard to get somebody to turn loose of just an acre of ground. One place they wanted double for what we paid for what we got. Another place, was not on blacktop. We would have had to completely fence the whole thing because it was part of a pasture. This was the most cost effective for us. It was the best place. It's pretty much in the middle of the township.
I don't even know where Mr. Hall's property is. I should.
It's something he inherited from his
I
grandfather.
was going to say his
Yeah.
dad or his grandfather
Well, I think it come all the way down.
come down.
And it's right on the blacktop. The entrance to it right now, I would never use, but we're gonna go up on top of the hill and put in a new entrance, but we probably have to get that all approved. It's on a county road, so that, I mean, I can't see why it wouldn't be approved, but, no,
Well, we had to furnish one exit. We don't? I thought we did.
One already on the property.
Oh, yeah, but on this 1 acre now, that would be different property, wouldn't it? Or
Yeah,
not?
but we didn't cause it.
I
They
see,
did
I
the
see,
split.
I see.
There's a statute that we had to do that when we dug ditches. And so the only ones where we're actually obligated to do are the ones that were caused by us digging those ditches
Okay.
at that particular place and time, which was, I think, 1917. So,
Okay.
so, but if the people need an answer, that's the answer to it. We looked for a long time and couldn't find anything available. What was available was double the price.
I understand that.
Yeah.
They even went so far, and this is why I say they had their heads together. They told me, he said, well, you caused the problem. I said, well, how's that? Well, you appointed her. I said, there's since been an election since she was appointed, so you're going to have to talk to your
Well, and it's
fellow
not just
constituents.
me.
Yeah.
It's not just me. I'm one person.
All righty, that's
So,
all I had.
Yeah. That's the answer.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
So you'll get with Roger, and then we'll have to, publish it in the paper that we want to, Mount Pleasant is going to go minimum spend. Do we need to?
I think we're going to try to have just a countywide, just have a single hearing instead of having one for each.
I see. Don't you think it'd be a good idea to say, okay, a minimum maintenance road? What is a minimum maintenance road? It doesn't mean that we totally abandoned it. It means it's not prior. Maybe the snow's not removed or it's not gravel, but the brush will be kept back and it will be graded once a year, twice a year, or do we need to have some kind of?
That's up to the township.
that's a definition,
to
basically,
decide. There's
of what that means. Is what you're saying, it needs to be published so people,
Know what they're voting on or what they're.
well, they're not
There's
voting
a
on it.
statutory definition, isn't there?
Yes, but it's not that specific. It's simply that it doesn't receive routine maintenance or something like that. It's not.
The way I took
there's
it
not a
was-
minimum standard.
By adopting and putting the signage up, isn't that they're going to do less than they'd been done before. It's just kind of a redefinition of for public.
The way
Consumption.
I kind of understand is it relieves liabilities on us because
Yes.
the roads on the maps are even marked as minimum maintenance.
But seeing,
So even if the sign disappears, it's still a minimum maintenance road.
yes,
For the most part, you're not abandoning anything. The roads that they're putting on as minimum maintenance don't have people on them. They're generally sections of road that just aren't traveled very much. They may go to somebody's field, but the reality is that many of those farmers are complaining just as much about having people on them because they're getting four wheels when it's
Mhm.
wet.
I don't know of any township that is planning on putting the signs up and doing less maintenance on them just because they have a
Yeah.
sign on them.
We're not gonna do any
Right.
less just because there's a sign there. We're just trying to cover liabilities against the town.
And I think that's where maybe there might be a misconception when all of a sudden there's signage there, they're gonna think, oh, they're basically abandoning the road, but
Yeah,
and
no,
there's no
no.
less maintenance on that road just because of the signs.
No, all of them we put on, we do grade every year, possibly 2-3 times a year, depending on the weather. I know one we had just graded, and then we had that windstorm, and it took a couple of big trees down. So we had to go back in and get that road back in shape, so everybody could go bale their hay and whatever, because that's what's on that road.
I think the bottom line is, we know what we're talking about. The
But the public
townships
does,
don't
yeah.
know what they're talking about. The people the farmer that uses that road,
Yeah,
They're gonna see a new sign.
they're gonna say, well, I've been going down there in my field for 47 years and now you're gonna do away with my road. So I thought if we had some kind of explanation or that might, general.
Well, I think as we get questions about it, we field them right away, and assure them too, so it don't build up to. If we just say, "Well, I'm not for sure," and then it don't get answered, then that starts the ball rolling.
no, for us, we're planning on maintaining them the way we always have or better. Because we had roads when I came on that had all the brush and were nearly impassable for the farmers, or we even had some that the school bus was nearly impassable for, and we've got those in good shape, and our intent is to keep them in good shape, just no rock, no solid base of a road, just dirt that you can grade.
Sure,
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
What if there is a big tube on a minimum maintenance road and 10 years from now it needs a new tube? Okay.
It's the same.
That's what I was gonna say, the ones I've ran into, it's a county too.
It's as
Because
long
it
as
goes
it,
under a road. Yeah.
it's legally opened road, so I
Yeah.
mean it has to be maintained.
Yeah,
Worse than a tube would be a bridge.
Yeah. Yep.
so I guess on some of the townships roads that I think you're talking about, you could go to a tube. Versus trying to put a cement back in. If it's a minimum maintenance road, it's mainly just to get the farmer in and out, and I would think most of them would be willing to.
That would be up to the state, wouldn't it?
Well,
If it's certain size opening, wouldn't it? I mean,
It has to be engineered correctly.
I think her comment was if it was a bridge, that we could forget the bridge and just go back with tube. I don't know if that's true. It wouldn't have to go by so many.
Drainage.
I think that's something that we
Yeah.
can just find out, once we get these
Yeah.
roads on there, I'm not sure there will be any.
I think it would be the amount of drainage that comes from everywhere.
yeah.
I'm not just gonna go replace them just because if they fail and they're getting towards the failure side, then it's not like we're just gonna go in there, for minimal maintenance, we're gonna go fix them or change
Yeah.
them as they deteriorate. Change them.
Sure.
Some will hate it, some will like it.
You can get the glue and carry to do an article on saying, hey, this is what's coming about, this is what it actually means, and this is what it doesn't mean. And I think that will help a lot of farmers who read that paper and better understand this. When this does come out, you're not getting as many phone calls.
We want to make clear that if there is an article in the Globe, that the facts are right. I haven't received a call yet, but I look for it any time. The statement, it's on a different subject about, I approve 15,000. It sounds like we just give them 15,000 all in 1 year.
That was for extension service.
Extension service. And that was for capital outlay to eventually build up and get a vehicle.
There was a misprint. I think basically what had happened
I think it
was,
was misquoted. I think she wrote it wrong.
well, what had got stated in that meeting was we allow 5,000. This is the third year, and somebody says
Correct.
it's up to 15. So
Yes.
the 15,000 figure got picked up, made it sound like this was a new appropriation of 15,000. So
Correct.
it's just
Yeah,
one of those things.
yeah.
I caught it.
I did too. I thought, holy moly. Especially had my name right before it stated 15,000.
Yeah, I was glad it was your name.
I had to change my phone number. I haven't got a call yet on that.
Okay.
Everybody's gonna read
This
it
goes to
all.
broadcast, Bill.
Now you
Tell
know.
Okay, is there anything else?
No, that's mainly what I'm here for is so, because I can't put the signs up until I get approvals, the way I understand it.
Have you quoted prices?
Already got 'em.
He's got them, he didn't quote price.
What?
Dam posts, so they're ready to go.
We just, yeah. We just gotta pay for them.
I truly think there's only 2 townships gonna do it, so unless one other is coming in, but the majority I talked to, they're opting out.
Two of my 3 don't want it.
I know for a fact that Grasshopper, Benton, Walnut opting out. So there's 3.
Walnut's yours, yeah. I haven't heard from Lancaster.
I mean,
Center wants gravel ends versus minimum maintenance, so.
And then Lancaster, I haven't heard something else.
and I can't see where gravel ends helps anything, but
Yeah, that's
I
because
think-
it's not
I-
changing the
I
maintenance.
think-
I don't work with their township and I'm not going to.
I think they took it as taking heat off themselves, but if they really think long and hard about the liability of it, they would go ahead and take the heat and put the minimum maintenance sign. That's my opinion.
Now, I know I did have one person contact me because technically it is a road, but it's never went through as long as I can remember. And now there's 2 houses built on it, and they wanted a sign put up that said, no outlet, dead end.
Dead end.
And I did that for them because they get a lot of traffic because people think they're gonna go somewhere.
Is that road that goes up to Mr. Wilburn that had the low water, is that a township road?
That is a township road.
That is a township road.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that, after looking, I went and looked at it, it looks more like just a private drive.
Well, I had somebody tell me about another one, I'm not even going there, but they said technically, and this was somebody that's in their 60s, but they remembered as a kid that there was actually a township road. It's now a person's driveway. Now, if anybody ever wanted to come in and open it back up as a township road, but over the years since, they built a fence for pasture, they put a gate in, to me, it is a driveway now. If somebody, you could go back on them and say, this is a township road, we want to open it back up, but nobody wants to.
Well, after there's a gate put up, after 7 years, doesn't that?
Mm-mm.
No,
No?
because,
No,
well,
because the road's never been closed.
I see.
statute of limitations doesn't run against governmental units usually, and that would be adverse possession. You can't adversely possess property against a government.
But it's maintained as a driveway now because that's the way they use it. Have enough opened up they can pull into their house, and then they've got a fence and a gate, so
Yeah, it's right there.
if something comes up, then we'll address it.
Yep. Let sleeping dogs lie, as they say. There's enough of them going to be barking at once. You don't need more.
Exactly. So, that's all I need. I can go work with Roger,
Okay.
and then you guys can get together and go down the road the rest of the way.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Roger.
2 o'clock the next.
We have
1:30
and then 1:45.
6 minutes.
Huh?
Kim's at
I'll
1:30.
just come
She's at 1:30,
So
so.
we're gonna go ahead and move her up now,
I'll
so.
come back.
All right. Come on up, Kim.
Okay.
Did you sign that payroll?
I didn't see it.
It was here.
Yes, there's two different papers that should be right together. This is to get started hopefully on our
Is there one sent here?
new phone systems. We've got options from Kamiko.
Come on in.
To do a lease agreement for the phone system so that we can get the phone system started in 2017 and not have to pay the $12,000 for maintenance to AT&T. Did you get the email I sent you back with updated?
Today?
Uh-huh.
No. Well, I haven't looked at it.
So let me get this right. By starting this early, you're getting a $12,000, something you don't have to pay off to AT&T because we start this one early?
Since the phone system has been sunsetted, AT&T is charging me $1,000 a month for maintenance.
Okay,
The sooner we get this implemented, it might be 2 months. They said it takes about 6 weeks to order equipment
okay.
and get it started. Then that we would only have to pay $2,000 of the 12 for maintenance. If that, because I had just got off the phone with AT&T and how that would work, Pat, but apparently we don't have a contract for maintenance with AT&T since it's been sunset. So I don't, there's not like a physical copy, is what they're telling me.
So that portion of our former agreement is now sunsetted, and so what you're saying is there's kind of a verbal contract that it's $1,000 a month, but there's
Right.
nothing there to actually
Exactly.
void or sign to terminate
Exactly.
a contract.
This is,
Okay.
yeah, this is, and this was, and the invoice is really strange because this, I won't get the bill for this $12,000 until October or November. And it started in July. Started July 19th of 2017 is the new, what they call maintenance, on-site support.
So it's due in one lump sum for a full year?
Yeah. And yes. And I'll get an invoice for this 12,000, like I said, probably in October or November. But yeah, but it started in July. And they say that's just the way they bill.
Okay, it's different.
You know?
It's AT&T.
Exactly. And I know,
So has there
like I
been,
had-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, and I know if we pay this complete $12,000 and then get the new system in 18, we won't get a refund. I know they won't refund us. I mean, they're,
Because we're not going with their system.
yeah, because we're purchasing the system ourselves.
Okay, so this is, we've got the bill for the upcoming year, and say we use 3 months of it, or since we're already into the new year, I mean, is that almost a, I mean, we haven't signed anything, but are they gonna say, well, you've already started on the new year, this is basically a year-to-year contract, you're already started, that,
That's what, I don't know. 'Cause like I said, I had just got off the phone with them and they said, well, as far as he's gonna reach out to the regional manager, but he says as far as he knows, there is no such signed contract saying that we would pay $12,000 after it was sunset.
Mhm.
It was just, it went from the $4,000 after 5 years. Once that was up in 15, 16, it went up to 12.
I guess it works both ways. If we don't have a contract the other way, they can't say we're in breach if we cut out on it. So,
See, that's what, if we don't have a contract, do we have to?
You can't pay, you can't sign a contract something you don't have. They don't have maintenance on that because there's not maintenance on it.
Right.
I mean, it's sunset. So.
right.
Have they performed any maintenance since July?
I think we've had them come up maybe once because we have issues with the phone system. And it's basically they come up and do some computer stuff and we restart the phone system. So,
Are
So are you basically saying that we're gonna have to do something, kinda limp along till we go with this new system? Pay monthly versus,
we would have to pay, yeah, because if something would happen and we don't have AT&T, we'll be in trouble.
yeah.
So that's how come I would like to get the new system started with the lease agreement, if at all possible.
How soon, when we start the other, would it be operational where you wouldn't need this service at all? The old AT&T service.
According to Kamiko, it takes about, once we have the paperwork signed, it takes about six weeks to get the equipment in. And then once they start putting their equipment in and get it up and running, then, and that's, maybe takes like a week,
Okay.
then.
So that's
we'll be
very
on
First of November.
Yeah,
Do they have a maintenance fee as well or not?
no, it's all included in the price of the phone for the 5 years.
So this is a 5-year payout.
Yep.
So if we wouldn't be online with the other by, say, even the middle of November, and this is due October 18th,
That's
We-
one invoice.
yeah, how do we work that? Do we pay them for what we've
That's what
from June to full through November?
That's what I assumed I would do, is when I would get the invoice, if we figure out a date. Of course, I could talk to my AT&T rep to see what he suggests, but that's what I assumed, is if however
Okay.
many months before we got the new one started, we would just go with, and maybe we won't have to.
This may be a dumb question, but why didn't we update the phones when we updated everything else? Totally two different.
Totally,
Totally
911
complete-
system is completely different,
Okay.
completely different.
So what's your recommendation?
My recommendation, I would like to go with the, Kamiko with the one payment on the second sheet there, to have it paid off, by March 15th. I think it's the second one, the first page. And I did fill out the paperwork and sent all the budget stuff to the government capital to get approved.
Are we gonna be able to write out a check for $150,000?
That's what I'm asking.
Hmm.
That's why I figured we would wait till, I know we were going to, the budget was approved. The commissioners were gonna request the 30,000 from the city.
Which we haven't, I don't think, have we?
I didn't think that we were going to request that once we had the other funding was going to, or was that just this year? The rate was going to be changed between solid waste and joint communications, and we thought that was going to cover. But I
Right.
will contact.
Well, I don't know why we wouldn't wanna ask for
Right, and that's
30,000,
what,
unless there's some strings attached to it, I don't know.
right. And they didn't say that. I know that they wanted to know totals of funds when we requested it, or when you guys requested from them.
So then if we request it, we'll have something wrote up and then you'll take it back to the next joint communication meeting?
Or to the city.
No, I think
Or
it
goes
straight-
directly to the city?
Directly to the city. Right.
So the city wants to know if we got the money held somewhere
Yeah,
and not using it.
right. They said they don't have a problem giving an extra 30,000 for the phone system, but they just want to see what funds we have. And I know they did ask about the 911 fund, and I did tell them, yes, the 911 fund can be used for the phone system. However, we get about $100,000 a year and we spend about $100,000. If we deplete that, then we'd be in serious trouble.
So you need to get someone to put the numbers together to make the request then.
Right.
Okay. We'll do
So then
that.
I'm assuming, because that's, I said assuming that we have the money by March.
In your opinion, was they okay with that? We got some money, but we use that and we may need that? Or are they gonna say, no, you got that, use that first?
I don't know that. I know that they did say they didn't have a problem with it as long as you guys requested it. The commissioners requested it from them, and that they had the figures.
Did this come from the commission or from the city manager?
City manager.
Who's going to be gone after tomorrow?
Hmm.
It was in the commission meeting.
Right.
Okay, so that'd be on record then.
Okay.
Well, they had to vote to approve it, or they wouldn't have proposed it if they didn't have the support.
Okay. We'll get those figures together and
The thing is, I'm more, Do we want the city giving us the money to stop us from moving forward with this? I mean, I think we should get the money from the city.
Right. No, I,
It just sounds like you need to get this done by, pretty
right.
quick to get it done by November.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Well, I would think if we get the money from the city, we have to continue forward with it. We just can't get to 30,000 and then make no improvements, can we? I don't think that's what we want to do. We want to improve.
I was thinking that we figured with the change in the rates that we wasn't gonna need to ask the city for it, that the money was there. That's the way,
And I believe that's correct, that the money is there, but I didn't know if you guys were gonna go ahead and request the $30,000.
and I think that's the city's thing is, if it's not there, I think that's the angle they were taking, that they wanted the request so we would prove that it's needed. And so if it's there, I don't think they would probably approve it. I think their approval will be contingent on the need. So if that money is not there, if there's not enough money between the split, I think they're fine with giving it to us. That's the way I took it
Right.
when we were talking about this
Okay,
during
what-
budget.
Is it gonna mess up if, let's say, the solid waste has got a large reserve and you don't? They'll say, well, you're not distributing money evenly, you should take some of this money, therefore you would have the money, and then they're gonna deny the 30,000? We wanna see some pretty accurate numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think the city's gonna say sales tax dollars. They're not gonna say whether it's one or the other.
So
Right.
if there's a surplus
There's a
out there,
10% increase in sales tax dollars.
Well, I was thinking
So
that.
what's
Well,
the
if you
city doing
take-
with that? So-
if you take Stacy's surplus, now quote me if I'm wrong, and this 100,000, we got enough to fund it, we wouldn't need the 30,000. Is that correct?
That's the way I took it, that during the budget process that we came out and that's would have surprised me when you said something about requesting it again from the city, because I thought we had went past that already. That
There's
maybe,
two different 30,000. There's one from this year, 2017, there's one for next year, 2017. 2017 was not addressed at the city commission meeting, was never voted on. 2017 was addressed, and that's what we're discussing. I'm sorry, 2018 was discussed this year, and a couple weeks ago at the city commission meeting, and that's what they're saying. Give us the amounts that are in the funds, and then we'll let you know if
So we should get a request down there, if we're going to request it.
okay.
Well, we need to get them information of what we got where and request, and if they give it to us, okay, and if they deny it,
Well.
it's kind of out of our hands.
Okay, I didn't realize we was talking about two different ones. That's where I
I
was
didn't
losing
either.
it.
We were expecting a $30,000 payment this year. Some communication failures, I think, where emails went. The last conversation that we had was between Trey and I, because Trey was going to contact Pauline at the time to get the numbers and get back with me. There was never any other future conversation, but there was a joint communications meeting out shortly after that where we all took it as they agreed to do that. However, there was never anything official submitted through the city commission. So that was the communication barrier that we had there.
So, Mr. Chairman, my question is, whether the $30,000 is requested or not requested, should we give her the authority to move forward? I think that's the question.
Well, it definitely needs to go forward, but then there's there's two different issues here.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we can hash that out over the next month or two.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we got a month or two to make the decision on this new phone system.
Well, no, I think we got to make it today, actually.
We got to make it today because you said we're 6 weeks out. So
Well, but he's
I
talking
would say-
about the $30,000 decision. We've got some time to do
I
it.
would say give them all the numbers that they need and say, this is what's here, this is what's here. We appreciate your money, but it's kind of your decision because it's sales tax money.
Maybe Michelle could contact Becky, who'll be the city manager, and ask her what she wants, what numbers she'd like to have. And then we can provide it to her.
On top of that, I think the money that's there, if they're utilizing any of those monies for capital improvements next year, if that was a part of the budget, I don't know. But if Stacy has something for capital improvements, is she using that money for capital improvements?
She didn't she put that loader on?
We had 225 and she'd taken some of that money out to use on something.
Was that new loader, wasn't it? Isn't that going on the,
I don't know what.
didn't we just approve?
The
Well-
loader for out west, the track loader.
Yeah, that's for next year, and we took the pickup, but she'd budgeted it for it this year, and she bought the pickup out of it since we didn't make a pickup payment, or
We
a
didn't
loader
load
payment.
till
Then
next year.
we bought the pickup this
Yeah.
year, so we wouldn't need an extra 30 for the year after, so.
You may get with Stacy just to make sure that we're giving them actual.
I think she had a piece of equipment she bought prior to the track loader that we have. There was a large piece of equipment that she bought that she took out of that sales tax money.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
The
how it
backhoe?
there was
went. I
a,
believe so.
It's the backhoe.
yeah.
Because the track loader was from
After.
this point forward.
Mm-hmm.
She had it budgeted for 17 to go forward, but since they weren't taking the first payment till 18, that's how she had that extra money
For
to
the
go ahead
pickup.
and get that truck for this year.
Yeah.
And
But
this
I
new
think you're right.
and the new truck that we approved is not out of that money, but it's out of the fact that she thought she had a loader payment
Correct.
this year.
Mhm.
Correct.
So that wouldn't have been taken out of there.
Correct.
I know Jamie had, you might also contact her about because when we was doing budget there, we were talking extensively about that, so you might touch base with her too.
Sure. If nothing else, I'll go with Jamie and we'll do a conference with Becky.
So this
Sounds
is a
good.
resolution we have to pass.
Well,
Well, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know for sure.
Or there's a resolution here.
Yeah.
there is, I'm not following everything completely because what's reported was that the system cost $145,226, and making a payment in March at a 2.65% interest rate. My math shows that the payment that they asked for is over an 8.5% interest rate.
Did you get anything?
And so looking at that, I don't know what the closing costs, the $4,000 closing costs that are on there, is that related to financing costs, or is that,
Yes.
all right, so there's $4,000, so you're prepaying interest of, that's a horrible deal. You could borrow that money cheaper somewhere else, I would think. That's it. The 3 years isn't,
The prepaid interest for 3 years, just to pay it off in 1 year.
you're paying 8.69% interest on the $145,000 that's borrowed. And you all will decide whether that's a good financial decision or not. I'm coming up with a rate on the other. My math was, it's about 4%. And when we had looked at it and talked about it, that closing cost, that cost of the financing wasn't included in any of the documentation that they sent to us, which makes me a little afraid to do business with somebody that's hiding a $4,000 item. But
Did you tell them right off the get-go that we'd be financing through them?
Well, we got the option because this is who, Kamiko, who we're purchasing the system from, this is who they recommended, who they do all of their leasing agreements.
I bet you if you talk and say we're gonna get our financing someplace else, they're gonna raise that price.
well,
You mean the equipment price?
I think our last one that we did was about 3.1%.
Yeah, 3.18 or something like that. 3.19.
The issue is paying it off in 6 months. That's where the issue. They're not gonna make their interest, the money off. They wouldn't earn no interest for a 3-year payment.
We're gonna get the system in November and pay it in March.
Mhm.
Why don't we just pay them the 145,226 in March and not have any interest?
Because we wouldn't
That's
have-
an excellent question. And also on the documents that they sent, they have the loan date as August 10th, which is before today. And that, again, seems like somebody trying to hide something or slip something past us. Now, I'm not making any accusations, but,
Oh, no, this was when it was first sent to me.
well,
And then I
if you
started
look at the
getting-
top of the page, it's dated August 29, 2017, but it has the date of the loan is August 10, 2017. That date is passed,
Right.
and it would seem that
Right.
the date that the money is advanced would be the date of the loan.
So for budgetary reasons, we want to pay this off in 2018. Pay for the system in 2018. Is that- is
Correct,
that-
because I understood we wouldn't have the money until
2000, I mean, okay, so,
So I couldn't.
I don't know if
pay
that's valid or not, but
145.
let's assume that's true.
Mhm.
So if they're gonna install the system in November, why can't we just promise to pay them by January of 2018 and not pay any interest?
Because they require upfront in order to order the equipment.
So is this showing that we're advancing money, or is we're talking about one payment? That would,
This one, yeah, if we go through the leasing company, they will pay Kamiko. Kamiko will order the system. March, we pay the government capital back.
okay, we are paying one payment. All right.
Okay,
now-
one more question.
Mhm.
We're doing this to avoid AT&T
Maintenance.
maintenance of,
12,000.
well, are we just, we're gonna pay $1,000 a month, right?
Yes.
If we get the
Until
system,
we
yeah.
get the new system.
So we'd be better off to wait and pay the AT&T, wait till January and just pay the 145.
If the price stays the same.
Yeah, it'll go up.
The phone system will go up?
I'm sure I'm sure the fees will change.
Why would they change?
For
Is there inflation in the
They
electronics?
probably
or-
won't do year-end
What?
numbers. They want them before year-end for their numbers, probably.
Well, they could ship them in December and we'll pay for them in January. Hey, look, I negotiated for a living, so I'm sorry. I'm just asking some logical questions. And I realize you're dealing with a government contract situation.
Correct.
But it's not worth saving $5,000 in AT&T to pay, what, 8% interest, Pat?
8.
I mean,
8%.
Yeah. So the interest is almost 11, it's $9,000 for 6 months. $7,000 for 6 months. So it's 6, 1/2 dozen another. Pay AT&T or pay this company.
That's right.
And AT&T has a real habit of coming back later and say, you owe us the money. I mean, I've learned that personally and business-wise. They seem to have that habit.
Okay, then where does that leave us today? What do we need to happen, or what has to happen today, tomorrow, and by January? Have we answered any of these yet?
Well, that's up to you guys. I mean, my opinion, the system needs to be installed sooner than later, because we are having issues with the AT&T phone system. But, you know, if you guys want to wait till January,
You mean there's gonna be a different price in January? It's gonna be-
I don't know. I'll have
It could
to
be
find
lower,
out.
really.
It
There's
could-
deflation in electronics. It's an industry that it's a junk.
Can you inquire about that, and let's meet again next week, and we could kind of digest some of the financing ins and outs.
Inquire what it would be when.
If
we
that would
sign it in
change,
January.
and maybe they'd say we'll honor that cash price, whether it's now or in January, or that way we would know.
We could sign what, the 1st of November, because you said it takes 6 weeks, or middle of November. So we'd have it by January.
I think you have to have the money
Money.
before they will order the
I see.
equipment.
Would that be?
Well, if the city would give us 30,000, how much do they want down?
I'd have to double check. I think at one time they told me, is it 80%?
Ooh, 80%
Yeah,
down.
but don't quote me on that. Yeah, because that's what I thought too. Because I knew
That's a
I
lot
had
to
the
be
money
down.
in capital improvement, and I thought, well, I wonder if that would, like 30-some thousand. But I was thinking they said 80.
Kim, I think what you're trying to accomplish is 100% right on. There's just too many questions unanswered.
Okay,
I think you gotta do some, I think I'd like to hear about it next week.
okay, so see what the fee would be, what the.
See if it's higher, or if they'll stay with the quote, or if we'd finance it elsewhere, if that stays the same, or if it's in.
What's the minimum we could put down as a payment to get things rolling? And
Okay. All right,
do you have any comments or suggestions, Jack?
I'm not getting 8%.
Oh, I don't know, that was county councilors figured.
Well, the amount borrowed is $145,226. The payment demanded is $151,972.14. That's interest of $6,745.42 for 195 days.
I see.
So,
I was looking at the financed amount.
yeah, because they didn't disclose this $4,800 thing,
Close
and
it.
Oh,
that's a problem in my mind.
I think the principal is $400 too.
Well, there were two different sets of numbers too, in looking at it, that were provided to me. Yeah, you're right. It's different from the initial numbers that were sent.
was this?
If you look on this page here, if you made one payment, the way I see it is $151,972.16. But if you take the payment over 3 years, it's $51,987 per year. That equals out to about $6,000.
About 156,000. Yeah.
But then you got the 4,000 on top of that.
Well, it's amortized.
It
Oh,
doesn't
it's
come out to
open-ended.
2.65%.
Well, then it should come out to
It's about
2.6.
4%.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
They're leaving
There's-
something out of the equation.
Well, there's a $4,000 closing cost. That wasn't,
Right.
when I did my math, I didn't know about it. It's $4,356.80 in closing.
So what's the closing cost
Their
for?
interest that they're not gonna get.
What's the
That's
closing
true,
cost
because
for?
we're gonna pay
I
it
don't
off
know.
early.
I don't know. The first I heard of it was during this meeting. I should send an email, but I looked at the email during the meeting, so I don't understand.
So they're using an outside finance company to do this?
It's hard to say. The letter comes from Kaminko, but it says right underneath it, administered by Government Capital Corporation. So I don't know who owns who, or I don't know what their relationship is.
But even though the interest rate's high, we plan on paying for it by January 1, or, correct?
pardon me?
We plan on paying it off in January,
You
Or-
actually,
or
you're-
March. I
or
mean,
March,
or
for the
whatever.
total amount.
you got the budget authority
It
for
would.
2018, correct?
Right, so if it would be January, I mean, if we don't get the system started in 17, then yes, I would like to start January 1st, sign the paperwork, get it ordered, get it in, and get it paid.
Then you wouldn't pay the $4,000. You wouldn't pay the interest.
You're gonna pay
You're gonna pay $1,000 a
for
month
maintenance.
maintenance for, or whatever it
You may be
was.
paying that anyway. You haven't done the AT&T on the shed.
Well, if we don't have a contract, I
Well,
don't
but
know.
that's the person you talked to today. Find that person again.
Well, if there's no contract, I don't know how they
No.
can make you. I don't know.
I don't know what contract we might have with them if we had signed one at some point earlier.
This whole thing is,
I know I haven't signed a contract for $12,000 for maintenance.
is very difficult to understand when AT&T tells us one thing and this company's telling us totally different. They're trying to tell us we're going to pay that $12,000, and AT&T is trying to tell us we're going to pay $12,000 either way. And no matter what company we go with, well, we already have the connection to the state, so they can't deny us 911 connection. So This company's saying, once you're with us, you're not gonna have to pay that maintenance fee with them, because it's not their equipment, it's maintenance.
Hmm.
We've had a lot of flaws in their contracts.
Okay, why don't we digest this for a week and get on the,
Maybe get some more
Next week.
questions answered.
Okay.
Uh,
We'll come back.
I mean, my head's kind of spinning thinking of all the different angles here, so, I mean, it's, yeah.
Okay. All right, I will see what I can find out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Back with you next week. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What, did you have something more?
Thank you.
Oh.
Was it?
I didn't hear what you said, so,
Okay.
thanks,
Thanks,
Jack.
Jack.
Ah, 1 o'clock. Okay. Works.
Okay, Wes, come on up. Okay.
All I have is the MPG grant that I have to the chairman sign off on. This is a grant we do every year. It's $20,562. And I've been lucky enough to get awarded that grant every year. We use it for education and outreach. Just on page 2, after you reviewed it, on page 2 below your name.
Who's the grant from, Wes?
EPG grant, it's from FEMA. It's passed down to the state of Kansas and then from the state of Kansas.
I thought you said MGP.
Sorry.
Mm.
PG.
Whoa, okay.
No, I wish it had an PG.
Do you think this will all change with the issues they're having in Texas? Will they deny those? It's done
this
too
is
far.
already set and done. The state's already got the money. So no, that won't change.
I was just
We see
for to
it
review.
Going down. I mean, as FEMA gets less grant dollars, this grant will slowly drop
Shrink.
off, just like all the other ones have. But we've got it for as long as I've been here, so more than 7 years now. So,
This has to be used toward anything or certain things.
no, it's very specific on what it can be used for. We use it for our code red system, the $6,000 a year that we pay for that. For our public outreach, it can be used for training of citizens and stuff like that, but no capital expenses.
Can we look at it? Okay, is there a motion for allowing me to sign off for the EMPG grant for emergency management?
I would move that the chairman sign the grant application for EMT.
I'd second that.
grant.
I'd second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0.
Does Michelle need a copy of this or anything?
She actually gets one regardless.
Oh,
if she
okay.
has to. So, and these other 2 pieces of paper are for our social media. We're adding Emily Armstrong and Jessica, thank you, not so down. Jessica to be able to do the Road and Bridge Facebook page as his assistant. And just per our policy, you guys have to sign up on the bottom. Well, one of you has to sign on the bottom of the form that you allow them to do it. $20,562.
So, just so how I know kind of how this goes, like this case, Jessica, she can only put things on Road and Bridge.
Correct.
She can't do anything. She can't get into any other place.
No,
That's what I thought. But
Same
it
with
was,
Emily. It's just, remember, was it last year when you guys did the new policy for Facebook?
Mhm.
And the idea that they would maintain
who has authority
on
to?
there, and then so I signed it, Seth signed it, the employee signed it, and you have to sign it. And then I keep it on file.
Wes, do we do a good job of taking people off when we no longer need them?
As soon as, yes. Yes. I mean, as soon
It's a redundant question,
as
but.
soon as there's a change, that's one of the first things done because you can cause a lot of harm
Okay.
with the social media. So yes.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to allow me to sign off in 2 different places here for social media privileges? One dealing with Emily Armstrong at Road and Bridge, and the other was Jessica Ellerman at Road and Bridge.
So moved.
I second it, Mr.
It's
Chairman.
been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
Did you?
And
Michelle?
be 8:29.
Did I need them or did I get them?
Did you understand? No problem. That's all I had.
Okay. Thank you much.
Have a great day.
Okay. Who wants to be next?
I think I just have a quick comment
Okay.
in regards to what we were discussing earlier today.
Okay.
I got an email that, I've got someone who would very much like to discuss the nursing home commissioners. And, he's just landed in Kansas City and will be here for Thursday. So I didn't know if you wanted me to set up a meeting with one of you, or since today is your only meeting day, how you would like me to.
I'm going to be gone I'm leaving tomorrow. Going to be gone for a couple days, so I will not be here. I would be here Friday, but
I'm gonna be gone tomorrow through Monday.
How long is this gentleman gonna be here, or lady?
Till Thursday. So
Till Thursday.
just phone in, just
Do you have
let
time?
He'll be, so I don't know.
I prefer that all three of us was here.
Can he come today?
I can go give him a call.
He lands at 1. That means he's just now getting his suitcase. And we're 10 minutes from being done.
Okay?
yeah, I'm going to say that's
Try and arrange.
You're
we-
leaving in the morning?
some
Yes,
other
I'm
time
leaving first thing in the
for
morning.
Tuesday.
yeah, or I mean,
We could recess for an hour. Can't we?
well, but he's got to drive up from Kansas City and get out. I mean,
Told me he just landed, this came at 1:30.
I'm going to say that's
Here by 3 probably.
you might. Well, what do you think, Michelle?
I think you still have an executive session you're gonna be doing, you still have stuff. Executive session today, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still think you have a good half hour, depending upon how long your executive session is.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if he
the-
landed a half hour ago, he may be already en route this way, I don't know.
I'd say the way we can't attend, that we probably need to talk to the gentleman today if he wants to talk, if all possible.
You might try see if he can get here.
I'll roll call him
Okay.
and
Okay.
after Seth and see what I can do.
Okay, thank you.
If not, you want me to arrange another, Tuesday?
Tuesday or, yeah, and if Tuesdays don't work, most of the time I can be here on another day. This just happens to be the 1 week I'm going to be gone.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's something that needs to be signed. It's a paper.
That would be a no. Do you all agree?
I've got this one thing I think you gave me this morning.
I was hoping you had that one, so I didn't have that one, so we'll see what's happening first.
Okay. So go ahead. This is the PO he showed us this morning for, it's against the Special Bridge Fund from the Supplemental Service Traffic Control Alternates, the engineering on that, what bridge was that? 266.
I don't have the state number, but
Okay, an amount of $25,598. Do I hear a motion to accept it?
I'd make a move to accept the engineering for,
We really don't have a whole lot of choice.
yeah, I mean, it's the
It's
decision
done
you guys
deal.
made months past, or months previous
Yeah.
to this.
I'll
about-
second that, Mr.
so
Chairman.
we're just
It's been,
approving the payment.
yeah.
I
It's
make a
been-
motion to approve the payment.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
I guess overall, it's, the changes for the, keeping the road open only costs the county just over 30,000 for that. It did.
And
It did extend the project length, but it kept the road open majority.
it was probably the right thing to do, but very expensive to do it.
Correct.
Just one place.
With 1 hour work, is there one hour?
Yes.
We can make it work.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to come back?
I will come back. I'll
Okay.
figure it out.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the second one is about the rotary mower that we discussed this morning. I did go out to John Deere and discuss it with Ron, or not Ron, whichever one it was.
Run fry.
Yeah, Ron Fry, there you go. Everything we looked over, they didn't have one in stock, but we're gonna look at their other stores. There are a few things, minor things that we gotta talk about before we order it, or find it, just PTO shafts, things like that, no different in price. But, you know, everything, it's the heavier duty one, he showed me all the extras that go with it.
What shaft do you have coming out of the tractor you're gonna put this on?
I believe it's 540.
I would double check that to make sure and match it up.
Yep, that was the thing I had to check on when we got back to shop, is where the PTO shaft was, so we were gonna make sure that it was changed out the way we wanted. A few little hydraulic issues that won't have any effect on us that we just have to change, but nothing major, so.
Okay, so this
That's-
stands the price and everything's
State
correct?
contract price, and
I would emphasize, we don't want one 3 years old and rusty sitting on a lot that doesn't move equipment. We want one that's got a good appearance and
I believe that's what this one is built for, is it's built to take the heavy of the heavy, so.
But this is a
Russian,
brand new mower,
brand new.
brand new,
1
so,
year full mower warranty, 5-year gearbox warranty.
okay, do I hear a motion to approve the PO in amount of $17,586.40 for Road and Bridge, to,
have a little discussion first if I could. before I
okay,
make a
I'll go
motion.
ahead and finish the motion and then we'll have the discussion. To Heritage Tractor for a CX-15 Flex Wing Rotary Mower.
My discussion is, will we get in trouble, being as this comes from wildlife for fish and that type of thing, to use the money on a mower?
Well, this grant, this money is payment for stuff we've already done. You could do whatever you wanted with it. You could put it in general fund. You can buy, no, there is no problem with buying a mower with it.
That's the only thing.
I got one question. 1 year more warranty, but it's almost September.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get an extended warranty because you're going right out of the mowing season.
That's just the way it would, it's the way it falls.
But it's
We
from-
can talk to them,
But it wouldn't be that hard to ask. though.
yeah, we can ask if they can do an extended
Well,
warranty.
because it's late in the season.
I
But,
mean, it's gonna get its full use starting now until first frost or until the grass is all.
What does it hurt to ask?
but the 1 year is a year from the date of acquisition, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wouldn't be from even the date of approval here, it would be from the date, so you're gonna have a full year of mowing with it.
So it'll get its full use in that year, and we'll see whether it holds up, which I don't have any doubt in it. I mean, the way it looks, it's gonna hold up. I have my fear is the tractor's not gonna hold up to the mower. I mean, it's sized for it, but as old as the tractor is, we're gonna hope it'll make it. That'll be a next year budget item, or 2019 budget item.
Okay,
Starting to talk too fast.
do I hear a motion?
Already had one.
I asked to hear the motion, but nobody
And then
knows,
I asked-
nobody,
And then I asked for discussion.
Oh, okay, I thought, okay, I'm sorry.
So now you're making a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it, Mr.
it's been
Chairman.
moved and seconded, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign?
Sorry to
Passed 3-0.
confuse, I thought the motion was made, but Bill
No.
wanted discussion.
I
Okay.
had-
I just wanted to make sure that we could take that money. I didn't know if we had to actually use that to restock the lake or.
That's why we have a chairman, so he keep us straight.
Thank you.
Should have it by next week.
Some of the other shipping and importing.
I think they got 6 or 7.
And I'll just give it to
damage.
Michelle when you're done.
I'm sure they'll come out of the or somewhere close, but depends on when the trucks are running and.
Just take copies of
Try to remember these things.
that. That's the key.
All right, anything else?
That's all I can think of.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other old or unfinished business?
You wanted to discuss the AT&T settlement? Or is that the
That's
executive?
the executive session,
Okay.
yeah.
Any county councilor updates?
Step out for a second right now.
Okay. We will
Well-
wait.
Take a short break.
Jack needs to step out for a second, Pat, so
Okay.
why don't you hand me the bills and I can start.
This was one I wanted you to sign. There, I didn't have the cover sheet.
I had
Aaron-
one with the payroll, was in here. This
There's
is the-
usually- There's one that has a summary of the checks, and that one doesn't.
I haven't touched it, so, okay, if you get that. This, I just need to sign this, we don't need approval.
It was just sitting there. I don't know who put it there. I
Okay.
think you already approved it.
What is it?
The sidewalk cost share program with the city,
I think we done approved that.
okay.
You approved the one running north and south, I
Mhm.
believe, but you didn't approve anything going east and west.
So which is this one?
This is just the north and south, this is the,
You already approved.
yeah, we already got it. Okay, there's a PO on the back of it, so that explains it. Now, where do they want my
Well, it's already
signature?
been signed.
Well, but they look like they're wanting a signature somewhere else. Now, there's a sign up here, it says county request. Was that what they're wanting? I've never seen that. On that second page, it says county request.
Probably gonna need your signature, right? There.
Owner. I'm not an owner.
You are now.
It's gonna be hard to take that sidewalk home with me.
You gotta pay taxes on it too, buddy.
City taxes, I think I'll pass. I'll donate it back.
You're the land bank, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's that, and that's that. I'll go ahead and see that stack, start going through some of them. No, that's the one that...
We may want to talk about this.
Oh, well, let's wait till Jack's here.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
Well, especially if we're looking for things.
this is not county business. Did you see that article in the Kansas Farmer about Mike Bodenhausen? That was a nice article. I was gonna.
We'll have to, I haven't looked through that yet. so-
Well, I got it and throwed it away, and then my wife got on Facebook and see where Ann Corpstein made a comment that was a nice article about Mike and the Kansas Farmer, so I went and dug it out. And if you really don't look hard, you can't find it, but it's a very nice article. It's like about the third or fourth page in. It's normally where there's an ad. It's got a small picture of it. The Holstein Society honored him. Then I seen on the news where there was another ATV death in Donovan, the Sims.
I heard that there was a, 40-some-year-old guy?
50-year-old guy. I don't know if
Okay.
that's Ken Sims's son or any relation. I don't know. I didn't get the details or nothing. They just kind of showed a news flash.
Well, we have this lull here. Michelle, do you want to expand any? You had sent us information on your election equipment.
I sent you 3 invitations. I sent supervising judges invitations. We're gonna have 2 different vendors coming in, one on the 6th and one on the 8th, that will have new equipment. So each day will be a different vendor with their own equipment. These are both fairly popular, probably the top 2 vendors. But we're gonna have it probably in here, but we've probably sent out about a dozen invitations to have the supervising judges come up, and a few of the others that were just workers, election workers. But they're gonna just start around 9:30 in the morning and kind of go through some of the equipment that they have that's available out there, which will be what we're going to be looking at probably.
Is this something that you advise the commissioners to try to get here, or is it something that really we have any, you know?
No, I'm just asking you basically if you wanted to come see the equipment that we
Okay.
have available.
Okay.
Not that it's gonna make a huge factor as far as what we choose to go with, because I think our election workers and such will have a say-so. But ultimately, I guess it would be my decision as to how we're gonna work it. The financing is gonna be important, and, but the people that will come here will be the people that will help us if we have issues with our elections.
Okay.
So, just in case you had any questions, or, I have invited, Joe and Tom. I want them to come up as well, because they'll be helping me set up and dismantle and take apart, load and unload. And we're going from a system, the ADA compliant machine, I think now is around a 50-pound piece of equipment, and it's, I think, 20 now, the new ones. But anybody can use the ADA compliant machines. It's touchscreen. A lot of the younger people actually like it because it's more technical. You can touchscreen it, you can vote. It won't let you overvote, it won't let you undervote, unless it asks you. If you don't want to vote for that specific race, you tell it that that's the correct way, and you go on. But I am keeping ballots, I'm keeping the paper format. That's something I think is important, the paper trail.
How are you going to educate Joe Public how to use it?
The main key with that is going to be to educate the workers.
So if they have a question, a worker will be there to be able to answer.
And both of these vendors that have come in have offered to give the first year election worker education. So they would do the training for the workers.
That was for the first time. Now, what about subsequent when you get like the second, third, fourth year time
We
out?
always have trainings
Okay.
prior to the elections. A lot of that is just on how-tos, the scenarios, that type of thing. But the election equipment, we'll just try to have it there so we can go through it as well. But no, it's not mandatory that you come.
All right. Well, I was just wondering
I
if
just wanted to ask if you guys had any interest, you could feel free to come.
I'm interested. I just don't know if I'm going to be available. So I was just wondering how much of a priority you thought it was for commissioners to be there.
I got to look at my calendar because if you commit, you need to commit to both, not just one date.
I do feel that that's important, correct.
So I'm going to have to look at my calendar if I have nothing scheduled.
And it's not guaranteed, you don't have to be here for the full
2 hours.
2 hours. It's just kind of more of a come and go, hands-on, but it is available from 9:30 to 11:30. But they're gonna have the equipment here, And they know what we have, they know the county size, they're bringing basically what they feel would be of benefit to the county. They're not bringing the massive counters that they have some scanner counters. They're not bringing any of those, Johnson County uses some, Wyandotte County, they use some of those big scanners that'll scan through, hundreds of pages a minute. We don't need that, we have relatively small boat.
In the invitations you send out, do you think it's necessary to send out to a Democrat chairperson and a Republican, or chairman, or whatever you want to call them, of the parties?
Precinct committee people?
No, like
The
Derek
chairman.
Franklin, and then I don't know who the Democratic leader is.
He, Karen Bell.
Oh, that's right, Karen Bell. Send that invitation to come as well?
I
Or you think
haven't
it's
been-
necessary? You think it's necessary?
I doubt that it would be
Okay.
of much interest. I think the main people that we're scoping is going to be our election workers. Because they're gonna be the people that are gonna get the questions. And the ease of the equipment use, the hands-on, is gonna be more benefit to, I think, our election workers and the general public. But they're making equipment that's relatively simple to use. I mean, it's pretty cut dry.
That note's on this bill. Should we approve that until that's,
My guess is it probably has.
shall I take it
some-
over and just ask her real quick?
I didn't know what that was.
Well, it's kind of like,
It kind of makes me wonder if we should actually approve it and then somebody see the application on it. I'll be right back.
I noticed when I come back at noon, the flags were, when I left, I thought they surely raised them. And then as I was going to eat, I seen the Elks was lowering there, so I said there must have been something happened.
I'll tell you in just one moment. You're correct with that.
Something must have passed away.
And Governor Sam brought back. Get it actually here. Governor Sam Brownback ordered the flags lowered to honor former Kansas Lieutenant Governor Thomas Docking from sunup till sundown on Tuesday the 29th, who passed away last Thursday. He was 63. He served as Lieutenant Governor from 1983 to 1987 with Governor John Carlin. He was the son of the former Kansas Governor Robert Docking. And the grandson of former Kansas Governor George Docking.
Died pretty young.
So that's why it's his services were this morning.
that bill is for antivirus computer deal for the IT.
One other thing, I seen on the news where there was just a one-time story about there was a rash in Atchison County, and did you see that? And, yeah, did you hear anything or know anything about that? It was on the news.
A rash?
A rash, and they was Northeast Kansas Health Department was looking into it. It was on the news, and then I never heard more about it, but it was on TV.
I never heard anything. I'm on that board. I've never gotten anything from Kristen.
It was between this meeting and last Tuesday's meeting. I don't know what day it was. It was shortly after our last meeting. Maybe Thursday. proceed with our meeting, so we'll have a little talk time after we close before the next gentleman comes, or we're going to have to stay open.
I think we'll have to be in open session for this meeting, won't we? That's what I thought.
I seen a lady walking on the new walking trail day before yesterday.
The date, the trail dedication, I believe, is September 10th. And they're actually going to dedicate it.
I seen a lady walking on it. Sunday, yeah, Sunday. Are you ready to go into executive session?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess we could do that.
We probably need, I would say 15 minutes attorney-client.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we go into
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we go into executive session on attorney-client relationship. Session at 2:27, 15 minutes.
Yes.
For 15 minutes for consultation with an attorney for the public body which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B. 2, and that the purpose of the closed session is to protect confidentiality of the discussion, and that the board come out of executive session at 2:45 p.m. in the Commissioner's Room, first floor courthouse, county courthouse. Those present will be commissioners and county council.
It's been moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0. We will go into executive session.
I come back after on Tuesday. You guys usually go.
Well, no, we've been getting out of here pretty early last month or two. 3 weeks, I think.
Does that change it?
I'm glad.
Yes, we are. We are back on. No action taken.
No action taken. This is off the business subject matter, but I seen where Amazon got Whole Foods and they've done discounted all their food like a third to half, and they're going after Walmart and grocery store.
Well, they reduced the price of 3 items. 30 items.
But they're-
Almond, butter.
Avocados, they just showed-
Avocados.
But
They
they
reduced
said there was-
hamburger from $6.50 to $5.
but they said there was more cuts coming,
Yeah.
and they're targeting against Walmart.
Well, Walmart, they're 1% of Walmart. Walmart's huge. They're not huge.
I think Walmart cut into this. They've been doing things to try to do their online sales, and they've increased a lot of their online sales trying to compete against Amazon. So
Hey,
Hey, that's good.
retailing's
man.
war, just let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Well, that's
It is
both
war.
of them cut about 50%. It wouldn't
You
bother
undercut me,
me.
I'm undercutting you. That's just the way it works. Competition. And usually the consumers are the benefit of that. We get lower prices, that'd be great.
Did you get a different cover sheet for these bills? Or,
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I didn't see one at all.
so is this what we're signing?
That one usually
Yeah.
has the summary of the checks. Oh, there were these three as well, and I just needed to talk to her about them.
Okay, just put them right on top here.
I'd like to get those back, though.
Oh, you want these back?
Because I want to talk to her.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you did talk to her about them.
Did you want to discuss anything about this?
Yes, Jerry Kuckelman has agreed to, is willing to serve on K.S.A. And there's a nomination form that needs to be approved by you. And he hasn't signed it yet, but he texted me about it just to remind me that it needed to be signed today. So,
And he's been serving on it.
no, he's never been on it.
So who's he replacing?
We don't have
we
a
didn't
seat
have
on the
any
K.S.A.
representative.
board. John Calhoun was on it, but we haven't had a representative on the board since.
So we need to
then.
nominate Jerry, is it?
Yes.
So I move to nominate Gerald Kuckelman to the K.S.A. board to represent the county of Atchison.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
And then he will probably...
He needs to sign that, so I'll put it in here, or do you want to
Talk
take
to
it?
you.
Back to me.
He'll
Okay.
talk to you, and then you'll bring back what he tells you, or will he come back and tell us if there's anything that needs to... You
Right.
know,
I think we'll just take this and mail it to K.S.A.
I know,
He needs
but-
to sign that,
But
yeah.
if he goes to meetings and they tell him something, how's the information will get back to us? Or is
Oh,
it-
well, yeah, he would make a report back.
He's
Okay.
actually put on the ballot for the November meeting.
Yeah.
I'm reading it right.
Right.
He's actually placed on a ballot along with other nominated people, and then they'll have, the ballot will be,
So just
taken
because
for
we're
K.S.A.
nominating him don't mean he's got it.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Are you looking at that statute on, okay.
Do you want to make any kind of announcement so we're not sitting here with the camera on for 30 minutes doing nothing?
Can't think of anything.
Can we recess, Pat?
You can. I guess I had a couple other things. Well,
Oh, I'm
no, I guess I can. I have nothing important. I got the list of the delinquent collection accounts from Stacy Joyce.
I got that. I didn't have a chance to look at it yet.
Well, I'm going to send a letter to them. We did it before and it got a little bit of response. But we're going to We're gonna just try that.
They're not really too bad. There was only, if I recall, 3 or 4 that was getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my comment was just keep your eye on them and watch the larger amounts.
Several of them are old,
Yes.
quite old, and several of them are out of county people that were
Yes.
here and dumped something one time.
Yes.
I think that's a lost
So
cause.
do
but-
people lose their privileges at some point?
Yeah. Yes. And they won't allow them to dump, and she said frequently they come up with the past due amount.
What happens if they would go to the other facility? Would they, if they didn't know them, could just dump like at Effingham?
Yeah. I don't know. You'd have to ask Stacy. I don't know if they're set up
I
to
don't
deal
know
with
how
that.
they could police that.
It'd be tough to police. You'd have to
Yeah.
just know them.
Yeah.
I suppose she could call them if somebody got turned away. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if they go to the other place, if it's a large amount, they won't take it there.
Right.
So if it was,
Just
if somebody
Household.
brought 2 trash bags out, she'd probably take them. But if somebody had a truck, they couldn't take that to the other, to Effingham.
yeah, I've had a couple complaints because they're kind of cracking down on mattresses, appliances, that type of stuff at the Effingham facility. They're not really supposed to take them, but it hasn't been enforced over the years, and they're trying to get more compliant with their state,
Rules.
rules and everything. So I think people think that there's a new set of rules or something going on. I've had a couple complaints, and I've talked with Stacy about it, about getting some better signage out there at that facility to let them know what can and can't be brought in out there, and if they do have mattresses and larger items, that they can take them to the Atchison facility. Most of the time, though, what happens is people don't realize it. They drive 10, 15 miles to that facility, not wanting to go clear to Atchison with it, and that's what causes hard feelings. So,
Did you get any new information about locating the well?
no, I haven't heard anything this week. So, did you say we could recess for a little while? Or
Yes, you could, if you want to take a 10-minute recess. Sure.
okay, want to recess for 10 minutes?
I move to recess for 10 minutes till
I'll second.
3:05.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meet back here at 3:05. Yeah.
Everybody had their different ideas of picking, and I told my wife, I said, save yourself a lot of trouble. Just say wherever you want to go, we'll be there. Somebody else pick it out. So our sister-in-law picked it out.
Just
We're
don't
back
drive-
online just for everybody to
Don't
know.
drive
Okay.
at night. I spend a lot of time.
Don't get off the motel campus.
Yeah.
Flight layover in Houston.
Well, we're not going till February, March.
It still might be flooded. I feel sorry for those
I have
people
no
down there.
idea.
My gosh.
I wrote the check and they picked it out.
I heard the other day that Cancun and Cabo cutting that risk.
Well, Quantaroo has been kind of a problem. The state of Quantaroo.
I think this was like about 20 miles, 15 miles south of Cancun where we go. The Mayan.
Mayan Riviera.
Somewhere down. We've been down there twice, but
I've been there
I
once.
guess we'll go again.
It's nice.
I like Punta Cana, Dominican Republic's been my favorite.
Can you speak Spanish?
Yes, he does. Taco, enchilada, chalupa. That's the way I speak Spanish.
Well, I guess I so because they say $5, I say 25 cents. So I speak their language. Okay, what are we going to discuss? I kind of filled in, Mary, where we're at. We're kind of waiting on a gentleman. I presume it was a gentleman to come up and discuss a little about the nursing home. That's why we're kind of in a lull.
Pat, how are we gonna? Is it gonna be open session or is it gonna be? executive or?
That's up to you, but they have to request that it be a closed session because it's to protect their confidentiality, not yours.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like there's a weighing test that has been laid out in the statute, and the factors that say that it should be open, of course, is the general open. The general policy is for them to be open, and once there's a reason to have them closed, then the factors to be considered would be the extent to which the information would be known outside of the business, the extent to which whatever the information is would be known to those inside the business, like their employees, the precautions that they have taken to guard the secrecy of that information, and the harm that would come to them if the information were disclosed. So,
I'd say being a good business person, the person that's going to come talk to us is not going to want to lay cards out on the table, and it's going to be on live camera, and if somebody would get wind of it, another potential company, they would have a big advantage over this person. On the other hand, maybe it'll spark some interest. I don't know.
I think
It's your call.
I think I would like, before they come into the room, give him the option. Pat, would that be something you could explain to them, or?
they have to request it, so I don't think he's going to come in here and I'd be surprised if he wouldn't say something like,
He's probably
he
coming
wouldn't
in.
want to discuss it.
He's probably coming here not knowing that this is going to be taped. And would he be
Yeah.
so we could say this is being taped or it's live, would you prefer the cameras are shut off? Would that, and then if he says yes, that is considered a request from him? Or would he have to come out and say, I request?
I think he would have to request it. I don't think you could assume that he's requesting.
Did I tell you I won half of the lottery? I had 3 numbers right.
No.
I think I win a whole $7.
Well, that's 3 more correct than what I got, but I didn't play.
Well, this is a true story. I went over there and I said I want 5 tickets. I never buy tickets. So I lay 5 $1 bills down. I start walking doors. She said, sir. I said, what? You owe some more money. I said, what? I said, aren't they $1 a piece? She said, no, they're $2. I said, well, that tells you how often I buy tickets.
It's been a while since you played.
I have 0 chance of winning the lottery.
You
So
have,
I
you have
lost-
the same risk.
I
Somebody I know helped finance that $700 million.
I paid $10, so it cost me $3 to have $30 worth of fun. What would I do?
I could think, I've done the same thing without playing. What would I do if I would win?
And then somebody might say, you gotta buy a ticket first, Eric.
I could have bought 1,000 tickets and I still wouldn't have, there's no way I would have won.
wouldn't either.
I don't win things like that.
I just go up there and said, give me quick pick, so it's not like I picked the right number.
She picked a, she had a quick pick.
Did she?
I thought it was, they said she had a quick pick.
Can you
Don't hold me to
imagine?
that.
Yeah, she did.
Can you imagine after seeing your face on TV and everybody knowing how much you got, how many churches and organizations and friends come out of the woodwork? It'd almost be not worth winning.
But no, she didn't. She used your kid's birthday.
Yeah, I think she did.
Because they say.
The combination of,
"You're better off quitting."
that's right.
Yeah. She said that.
And then I noticed like a day or two afterwards, they put on TV, well, she lost her husband from a year ago, a hit and run. And I thought, that's not important.
Yeah, well,
That's getting in their personal life.
Father of her kids, she divorced him before that happened.
I see.
I don't know what.
So she might have said, oh, 2 in a row.
it was a win-win.
Yeah, win-win.
She won.
They were already divorced.
Have you ever seen, there were statistics of people that have won these huge lotteries and how their lives spun out of control? I mean, it's interesting. I can't hardly believe that people wouldn't be able to hold it together better than that. But
There used to be a show where, I don't know what it was called, about what people and how they just floundered, and 3 years later they was penniless.
you know,
Take a lot to be penniless with $300 million.
She supposedly cleared 400 million, so 300 and some odd million were taken out for taxes.
boy, that'd be fantastic.
I'd be happy with 40,000.
Oh yeah.
I did all these, National Association of Counties, I have a couple extras and we did one and stuff. But I got our things cleared up, give an updated list on that, because there's a couple here that we don't have around anymore.
So were we paying for these copies, or they just send them out to whoever? But some of
And
that,
not everybody's enrolled in to get the county news. I don't know how that is. I don't know how they determine who gets and who doesn't, or if it's just a personal preference, or if when there's a, maybe was something that was filled out somewhere. But there's 19 people that are registered with the National Association of Counties. So we've updated the list, and I think I covered up about 5 of those. Change the names or titles. But I do have extra copies, anyways, and this one and
right back.
So winter,
End of February, I think, scheduled.
I'll be on vacation. Second week of September. And the third week of October.
Where are you going?
Probably try to get something done. Probably with my schedule. Hard to get
This would be an interesting trip. I get along fantastic, but the baby of the family, she wants to tell you to get up at 6:19. We'll meet here at 6:30. We'll eat breakfast. You'll have ham, bacon, and then we'll do this. We'll do this. I don't want no schedule.
Yeah.
I don't want no schedule. I agreed to every night at supper we'll meet, and during the day everybody can do their thing. Now, if you want to hang around, that's fine. But I know how that's probably going to go.
Yeah. Travel too well with other couples.
Well, it all started. Their folks are both passed away. The kids are all pretty much married, so now we won't have that. And I suggested that we have a family reunion. We started at our house. Everybody come up for a weekend. And my wife said, "Oh, I don't like that." And I said, "Well, we'll move it around. We'll go to everybody's." And then it went from that to a vacation.
Well, all my siblings like to go gambling, like John and I do go to
go up to Zion National Park or Bryce Canyon. It's only about an hour and a half drive. It's a pretty cool national
He
park.
texted Peggy to tell that that request.
You're talking about from Las
I didn't know
Vegas.
if you seen that or not.
Yeah,
No.
well, they like to go to this little people bus trips
What
to
you
Iowa.
I realized what I slipped out to call it.
They just go to the local casinos, you know.
But then on the other hand, it's going to be in the papers.
Do we have an ETA or?
Not yet, it should, I haven't heard anything.
I just changed my 3 o'clock appointment to 4 o'clock. I don't know if
I don't know how long this would last. It's,
Hello?
So when did Ron get the ground? Just recently?
I think it was went up in the past couple of weeks.
I hadn't heard that.
I just talked to her, so she didn't say anything.
Looking at, for Mr. Taylor's house. It's been on the market and, Googling houses for sale in Atchison. And I see this shed and this other outbuilding and that looks
Familiar.
familiar, you know? It had like $500,000 price tag on it, but under 83 acres. It was under 200 acres. God, where is that? You
Did
know,
it-
it's a-
did
so-
it-
so I started
Did any
scrolling.
more, that black community was going to start up with high dollar houses? Is that, I know they built one or two. Have they built any more? Do you know? There was a group out of Kansas City that wanted to make that, and the couple houses they built are pretty nice homes.
So Fort William? Or-
Well, I don't know what they call it, but it was going to be. I think you had to be black to get in it.
Wow, I don't know.
Never heard that.
Because that was, you know, Ferguson, it says it's kind of sad. They were some individual exodusters.
It was one of the tolls that lived on the west side of the road. They bought this ground, and they had the REA put the power to it, and I forget what that cost. And that road, what
Okay.
that cost. They had 2 houses, and I haven't been up there for a long
I saw
time.
that. I didn't realize that was a black community.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Huh. Well, and that Joe Kerr, who has athletic fields, Kerr Athletic Fields, he's got some property back there.
Huh.
And I don't know if that was part of VSATs or what.
I don't know.
He's been coming to St. Pat's Church. But I think I've seen a fancy mailbox or something. I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, there's two fairly nice homes. I think Leonard Boulders built both of them, and I think they were from Kansas City, both of them,
Yeah,
if I remember right.
and I know he built some of that housing in Fort Leavenworth.
Mhm. He built a lot of houses out there for Ryder. Leonard can build a nice home.
Yeah. I was looking in the county directory, but that's what caught my eye, because it was on 310th Road, this address, and then I did search and figured it out that it was Ferguson's, you know, and sure enough, and that pops the screen house, you know.
Pardon me.
But there's some horse association, is it Platte County or Platte Valley Horse Association that has purchased some land.
Down in there? Well, Leonard's got that, belongs to that saddle club, but I thought that was called Sumner or something. Saddle Club.
Well, it might be, and he might be a part of this
I
group,
know.
but there is.
He may.
It's somewhere, I saw it on the county directory,
Huh.
but it's like a Platte County horse owner group.
Well, I remember there 4 or 5 years ago, we'd come to town And the next thing we know, we see pickup and horse trailer and horse trailer and horse trailer, and they're all going down that road. And then later on, I seen Dennis, Leonard's brother. He said they had like 500 some riders down there that day.
Yes, somebody.
That was a big ride.
Started organizing
Yes.
groups, and they would. I'm not sure where all they had permission to go.
I think
but
you're right. They
it
just
was
took
a lot
off
of
and opened.
trespassing, and I think Ferguson finally could stop it. And I think Larry Buchanan might have been one of them. Somebody that doesn't have anything down there and taking the run of everything in Ferguson just stuck to it. Because I remember Wilbur telling me, he's like, you know, when John's done with it, we're done. Because they would go all over Corpsteins, all over our place, all over Ferguson.
They're starting to sell corn up Hiawatha. Did you hear that?
I heard that, but I can't believe it. I mean, I haven't seen
I can't after being up there at Hiawatha at that cabin and seeing some of the corn. Yeah, I'd say the silage is pretty much cut now. They're starting to go in there. I've never seen nothing like it, but they're kind of picking out the dry spots and picking them. They're not just.
Well, I think it's not good corn because it's dry.
It's terrible. I think they just want to get it out of sight, out of mind.
I kind of think our corn's going to be pretty good.
I know mine is. It looks probably the best looking crops I've had in a long time. The beans are just loaded.
Well, I was looking at beans last week, and the beans are reblooming and
Yes.
setting little pods on clear to the bottom.
Yes.
And there's big pods, and I've never seen them bloom again this late, that close to the bottom. Like you could put a whole new flush of soybeans on. So if they do that,
Yeah,
they could be
won't-
really good.
They won't be full size. They'll be BBs, but
Well,
they'll still be weight.
there'll be more there.
A lot of weeds in my brother's out behind our house.
The only thing I got because I had Roundup corn, and the kid farming it, his nephew kind of in cahoots, and he forgot to put the stuff in there to kill the corn, and that makes them look. That's in the hills, but in the bottom, oh man, they're that tall, just dark green, and they're loaded with beans. Corn ears like that, just.
The big talk this year is the dicamba soybeans with the herbicide drift that's come across. Have you been hearing about that? The new chemical comes and it hits the beans that aren't genetically modified to handle it. And so there's lots of people have damage from their neighbor's chemical.
Wow.
And we were pulling beans because I had some damaged beans, but I sprayed my own beans across the road, and so I self-inflicted my beans this year.
You have some dicamba beans?
Yeah, I had some that didn't intend on planting them, and
I think there'll be a 1 year and done.
I think everybody's planting more next year because then the neighbors, if they spray, it's not going to hurt your beans if they spray that.
Okay, the advantage is cheaper chemical price, correct?
It's not so much cheaper; it works better. I can't get anything else to kill the water hemp and the
Water hemp.
mare's tail, and so
Atrazine in the fall, about 3
I
pounds.
did that.
You ain't supposed to, but
I've been doing that.
Loaded up with atrazine in the fall is your best.
But that keeps for mare's tail, your water hemp comes up later in the spring. And anyway, we were looking at the beans that got damaged. And a lot of them, what it did is, it's kind of like when you have a chrysanthemum and you cut the top and you force them to branch. That's what it done to these bean plants. So now there's 2, 3, 4 stalks where there would have been one before. There's not as many per stalk, but it's really, now we're wondering, heck, it's possible that it could result in a yield boost if everything's perfect. But
With Jay's plot, do they have any predictions on his plots, what they're making?
I didn't get to see the bean plot. We done the corn, and then they were talking about their informational services like the GPS and how Pioneer's got their own way of storing the information of the chemical and all of the stuff. They load it, and I didn't, not going to do that, so I didn't pay any attention. I looked at the beans and had to leave. That was Jay Armstrong this morning, had a plot.
Last time out there, his crops looked good. I wonder if he didn't lose anything of water, or did he say?
I don't think so.
I see out there this side of Marlin Furman's there was a little bit where that creek got out and got a little bit.
I don't think the Delaware got out at all. Because, see, we didn't have
They
the
didn't get the
big...
rains out there that we got back here.
Right, see, we had like 3, and other people got 8, and that was all further east, Lancaster, Nortonville, down your way. Got the big
We had
rains.
6.5, and then you go to Leavenworth, they had more. My son had, I want to say, right at 11 inches. He lives in North Kansas City.
Hmm.
We had, when I looked at the rain gauge, it was probably about 7 inches. It went up into the funnel, and then there's 2 inches Sunday night.
I wonder how we are for year to date. We got to be way over.
You might be. I don't think we are out there. We've been dry pretty much all year on the
I
dry
think
side.
we'd have to be way over.
It really doesn't seem all that wet at my house. So
But you've never seen the grass this green or the crops this green 1st of September either.
yeah, it must have soaked it right up, you know, so.
Yeah, because I got irrigation in my yard, and when it gets so dry, it's supposed to kick on, and I've yet to see that come on. Sprinklers.
Well, you've had more of the big rains because you've been getting, which, that's fine. You can have those 8-inch rains. I don't want them.
As long as Big Mo don't get out. Yeah, a wet year will kill you in the bottom. A dry year, you'll have just as good as crop as, and then you get a little bit of rain, you can have a terrific crop.
I ran into some of that flood water Monday night. Stranger Creek hadn't receded yet. So I had to turn around, little barricade, instead of being in the middle of the road, just go down on one lane. So I just kept, I thought that was kind of odd because I didn't think of anybody's driveways or, you know, I thought it was just like a local traffic thing. So I just kept going, and then I saw another barricade with water behind it. It was over on the side of the road.
That's what we heard from her.
She's not heard from him, but I think she's gonna have her rejected.
Maybe I should catch
That's one thing that the center brought up. They was asked why, evidently they had some water out, why they didn't have the roads barricaded off. And I believe it was Adam said we don't even own any barricades, and they'd try to get a hold of Seth and they couldn't get a hold of him. And then Colin said, well, if you get 10, we'd need 20. Then if you have 1 and somebody goes off, they'll say, why didn't you have that barricade? So he said it's a no-win situation. But they did mention that too. I forgot that.
Have you heard anything? No.
No, I asked her. She's sitting there waiting. And my curiosity, he was apparently an hour away when she had talked to him. I'm wondering if he didn't go to the Cedar Village.
Well, surely she's been in touch with him
That I would think
or
somebody would have.
them.
Somebody would have.
That's just a couple blocks away, so if he does go there, it's not going to take but a couple minutes.
People ask for the 30 minutes.
No. He's here.
Oh,
He's talking to Clayton for a minute, but he'll be in.
It's even better yet. You can read it.
That spelling on that last name is suspect.
Oh,
Hello.
Come on in.
Come on in.
gentlemen, this is Zish Margulis.
This is who again?
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Zish Margulis.
Zish, sorry.
Henry Paul, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Brought along some business cards.
Thank you.
There you go. I apologize. I didn't realize it would be more than.
Just
Hello.
right here. I'm just the clerk, so I'm gonna pass this
Just the
on.
clerk. Not just the clerk.
She's modest.
Vish.
Cap
Yeah.
collar.
Hello. Hello. Can I request an executive session? Is that
Yes.
Possible?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
You want to read the,
Okay. Upon getting a request, I move that we recess into executive session at 3:32 for discussion concerning possible changes in management or sale of Atchison Senior Village, including a specific financial proposal from Recovery Associates.
Recover Care. I had that wrong.
Recover Care.
Recover Care, I'm sorry. Well, I hadn't read that. I read from here. So, the justification for the closed session is to discuss data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B4. Public disclosure of any specific offer would give others interested in the facility a financial advantage. The board should come out of executive session at, did we say, how long?
15 minutes?
Is that enough? Or
It'd take longer than 15 minutes, won't it, or not?
how long would
Take
you,
a little longer, obviously.
half hour?
Yeah, that should be.
I have to be out of here by 5 to 4. So how about 3:55?
All right.
Okay, we'll come out at 3:55 in the commission room, first floor courthouse, and those present will be county commissioners, county councilor Pat Henderson, Peggy House, and Zish Margolis. Is that correct?
Yes, excellent. Rarely heard it done right the first time. Good job.
Okay. Do I hear the motion?
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
We will now want to turn the tape off.
We're on. We're live.
Okay. Thanks again. Thanks, Peggy.
Okay, yeah, they don't need
Okay, are we back on?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have to excuse myself. You ready to adjourn anyway, right?
Yes, I think we're ready to, yeah, you can.
Do you want to make a
Uh,
motion to adjourn, or?
Do you want to make a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we adjourn at 3:59.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
My
We
fastest
are
exit.
now officially adjourned.
Thank you, Jack.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
All right.